Let's talk about Rangers because they haven't just won the title, they've absolutely stormed it. I mean, this isn't about Celtic imploding, is it? This is about, have a look at Rangers' home record. They've won every home game. They've conceded, 2 goals or 3 goals and scored about 47. It's astonishing, their home record. And they're unbeaten all season. It's what he's done there, the turnaround from last season. And the season ended around about this time last year, didn't it, if you remember? And I think they were 13 points adrift of Celtic. Look where they are now. And it's an amazing turnaround. I think he's done an exceptional job. And I like it when top ex-players become coaches and managers and actually step up and produce. I do, because I think you have an opportunity there to make a complete coach, a complete manager. Look, the Mourinhos of this world that didn't play at the very top of the tree and have gone on to be hugely successful, of course they bring something different in their own way. I just happen to have the opinion that if you can coach and you've been a top operator, winning the top prizes, and can then show that you can put your hand to coaching and that you can inspire players and that you can go on the sort of run that Steven Gerrard's boys have gone on this year. I like that, Aidan, and I welcome that. I always have done. And I think that Stevie is, sometimes there's trying to define it, whatever it may be, to make a top manager. Because if it was that simple, if it was so easy to find, every chairman, every owner of a football club would go and get it. But it's not. There's no rhyme or reason to who's successful in football and who isn't. Some have got it, some haven't. Some convince you when you watch them, when you look at them, when you listen to them. And Stephen does that for me. Whenever I've listened to him, whenever I've watched him, I get convinced that he's going to be a very good coach. He might not be as good a coach as he was a player. He might not be. That's been difficult for some. Some that have gone into coaching, top players, they get frustrated and fed up when they're trying to get people to do stuff and they can't do it, they could do quite easily and they could do instinctively. That can be a source of frustration, I think, for top players going into management. But Stephen looks like he's got the balance just right. I think I could imagine him stinging players by saying something to him when he has to, stepping away and letting his staff go and do their work and do their stuff and not interfering every 30 seconds. And then enjoying it and being able to enjoy the moment with your players as well, I think. So trying to get the balance across all those sectors is, I would imagine, very difficult. But to me, Stephen convinces, and I think he's going to have a very good career as a manager. I've been thinking about the it factor and what exactly it is that Steven Gerrard has got. And I'd love to hear people's opinions on it. 08717 223344. And I look at it, and I think it's to do with that, he's kind of put aside how good a player he was. Because if he goes up to Rangers and decides, well, these players are nowhere near as good as me, I'm going to fall out with all of them, he's going to get nowhere, because none of them are even fit to lace his boots, with the greatest of respects. And they all know that. Yeah. So he can't go down that road. So what he's done is he's understood the job in hand. He's understood, I've got these players to work. This is the level of player I've got to work with. I am not going to be working with Bruno Fernandes. I'm not going to be working with the new Steven Gerrard. I'm not going to be working with Foden and Mount and Grealish, etc. I am working with these players. So I'm going to work with these players and make them the best that they can be and manage them correctly. And what we've got to now is a situation where, yes, they've stormed the league and won it comfortably. He's got Celtic running scared because Brendan Rodgers disappeared down to Leicester at the drop of a hat. Neil Lennon couldn't handle the pressure when Steven Gerrard really stepped it up. So now he is top dog. He is the king of Scottish football right now. And it's interesting, when he does talk, it's almost understated, but it's got such gravitas that we are now waiting for his weekly press conference to find out what he's got to say on the state of refereeing, the state of Scottish football, the state of this, the state of that. It's almost like he's doing his own personal briefing for everybody to listen, and it's an appointment to listen to Steven Gerrard. He's got that much gravitas now. There are certain guys that are box office and that they do
They do command your attention when they want to say something. And again, I just think Stephen is.
But it's not outlandish stuff. It's all common sense. It all makes total sense.
Yeah.
And you're listening to it, thinking this is powerful. This makes total sense. This guy knows what he's talking about.
Interesting. I mean, today all I've read in the papers all day is congratulations to him, and quite rightly so. And hearing tributes from lots of people. I saw Ali this morning, who's been in that hot seat, knows the difficulties, knows how extreme that position can be if it's going against you. And again, forwarding his congratulations to Stephen, quite rightly. And then, of course, you start to hear about when Steven Gerrard will become the Liverpool manager, as he no doubt will at some point. I personally feel he's had such a good time at the moment. It was kind of the perfect marriage. Rangers needed help. They were in a hole. They were looking for somebody with character, with a bit of class and a reputation to maybe step up and do it. So it was a risk both ways, if you like. And it's ended up being the dream team, isn't it? The dream package. And I think now he's got to, he should enjoy it, milk it. And when I say milk it, I mean milk it by being successful. You know, milk it that way. I'm not talking about financially. You ain't got to worry about nothing like that. I'm talking about milk the job and enjoy the job. You've created something now, Stephen. Now go and make it something very special. Yeah.
I mean, he was told he shared a record, or he'd broken a record of Walter Smith's the other day. It was in the European tie they got through. And he was almost dismissive of it. And he actually said, I shouldn't be mentioned in the same sentence as Walter Smith. Walter Smith won loads of titles and loads of cups with Rangers.
It was amazing.
So, and that's he's looking at all those who've won so much in the past at Rangers. And it might be that he's thinking, I want to get to that level. I want to do that here. Clearly loves the club. Bringing in Gary McAllister was a master stroke as well, by the way.
Yeah.
So why would you want to chuck that all away after winning that first title? He talked there in that little clip we just heard about going on and winning more and more and more, dominating. And that is the challenge, because Celtic will appoint a manager. They will want to come again. They'll probably spend some money to try and come again and beat Rangers next season. And he will accept that challenge. I can see Steven Gerrard staying there for quite some time. I will just very quickly, you mentioned Ali McCoist there. I've been wanting to say this. And I wanted to say it after they won the title, Glasgow Rangers. I think we should be paying a little tribute to Ali McCoist and Mark Warburton as well, because they, less than 10 years ago, they've been shunted down to the fourth tier.
Yep.
How many clubs can you remember in history going from down there, promotion, and getting into the Premier League and then winning a title that quick, all in 10 years? Now, I know it's a massive club, but this has happened. And I think we should all just step back and admire the difficulty of the job, the difficulty of the situation, and everybody who did their bit along the way, including Ali, including Mark, and now Steven Gerrard. I think they all deserve a big round of applause.
Yeah, they'll all probably, certainly quite rightly, they will all feel that they've played their part in enabling Rangers to sit proudly on the top of the pile again once more. There's so much to look forward to, and I think now though, from Steven's side of it and the club side of it, I think the slate is now level, and by that I mean Steven Gerrard will now want back in. Because he'll want to go into Europe, he'll want to be competitive, and he'll want to make sure that the club can maybe enjoy now. After all the domestic stuff, they can really go on and enjoy some European nights again of significance. And so now it's like, yeah, you gave me an opportunity. I've now got you what you wanted. Now we kick on. If we don't kick on, that's when Steven Gerrard will be potentially thinking about something else.
Let's have your thoughts on Steven Gerrard. He's a champion in Scotland. He's a champion at last. 08717 22 3344.